So far, when we've discussed proteins and cooking, we've often talked about various ways of denaturing proteins, either by adding heat or by adding acid or by adding a base. And this has, as we've talked about it, sort of messed up proteins. And this has led to our idea of what it means to cook food. Now, if you did all of these things to a living organism, to a living system, you would, because you're messing up the proteins, completely mess up that organism. And so, for example, if you were putting yourself in 65 degrees, the proteins in your body would denature and you would die. The same is true for when we cook an egg. We basically cook the life that there was in that egg. So this may sound very morbid, but sometimes when we're cooking, we're actually using organisms as a way to cook for us. And then we need to keep these organisms alive. So this is what this entire week is about. It's about fermentation reactions. And the whole point of this is to use microbes, whether it be yeast or molds or bacteria, to basically transform foods for us, to create new chemicals that give flavor and aroma and taste, and to preserve food and so on. This means that when we cook with microbes, we have to be very specific about the environmental conditions we have. So when we bake bread, for example, we make sure that we're not letting the dough rise at too low of a temperature or too high of a temperature. And this is because the dough will sort of be unhappy at too low or too high temperatures. But if it's really way too high, then the yeast is going to die and it's not going to create any bread for us at all. So when you watch the videos with David Chang this week, you should keep this in mind about how carefully he monitors the salt concentration, the heat, the amount of oxygen there, and how all of this is very important in order to keep the microbes alive so that they can do the cooking for us.